Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing here on this Tuesday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How are you guys all doing? Hope you're all doing well. It's Tuesday. We are almost there. We are almost at the end of the year, guys. Nearly there. Just a little bit more there. But welcome for those who are new here. Welcome to Good Morning here with Reganelite here on Tuesday, the 30th of December, 2025, just over 11 o'clock in the morning here, UK time, just for reference here. And we are dual streaming live on youtube.com/Reganelite and on twitch.tv/Reganelite1. My apologies for the late start, guys. I'm trying to do other things at the same time, juggling things at the same time. That's why I'm a little bit rushy trying to put this together for you guys. But just for reference here, we will be covering specifically UK news today. I don't know if we'll even get up to the hour mark, depending on the content, guys. Just because I don't really want to cover any world news, because I would be covering it today, later on today at 7 o'clock for global news. So I don't really want to touch on world news if I can help it, because I do want to dive deep into some of that stuff later on today at 7 o'clock, just for reference there. At some point today, I'm going to try and record the New Year's Eve premiere video for you guys tomorrow evening. Like I said, I won't be live streaming tomorrow night, but there will be another Good Morning show tomorrow. Tomorrow for reference, another Good Morning show for New Year's Eve. There won't be a Good Morning show on New Year's Day, but what there will be on Thursday, on New Year's Day, for Thursday night, will be a Good Evening show. Yes, guys, you may have seen if you actually have a look on the homepage on the schedule, guys, you will have seen some of the upcoming live streams that are going to be coming up next month, which is going to be very exciting indeed. I have a live stream with Van Man Talks coming up on the Thursday, the 8th of January. We also, on the 15th, we have myself, Daily Blase, Dave McGuinness, and one other person I'm just waiting for confirmation on the 15th of January, the Thursday. That'll be good there. And then myself and One Angry Pagan with the Eco Flake show on Thursday, the 22nd of January. I've got the calendar literally on the wall so I can see it there. And then on the 29th of January, guys, I'm going to be doing something quite different. I'm going to have something called the Non-Politics live stream. I'm going to see how it goes. And it's gonna. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I want to juggle about with it and give it a try anyway. So basically, we just talk about something that's not political. And also, for reference, Friday the 9th of January, because I've had to reschedule my mental health live stream. We will have a mental health live stream on Friday at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Not a late live stream. 3 o'clock live stream. So we got up to 2 hours before the Friday Frolics comes in, and I think that's actually a good time to do it. I know Friday 3 o'clock seems like an odd time. It's like bang in the middle of the afternoon, and I can understand if some people aren't able to attend that. And if you can't, that's totally fine. But I do feel it's important we do a mental health live stream, especially after Christmas. It can be very down. So we're gonna go for 3 o'clock. And obviously, we will stop before 5 o'clock, before Daily Blase does his Friday Frolic. So people, getting a chance to express their feelings and whatnot, and talk about their mental health and whatnot. We can do that next week Friday, on 3 o'clock, guys, and then we can go into Friday Frolics straight after. So I think that works out pretty well there. I think that works out pretty well for all of us there. I did think about, there was a wrestling show that Friday I was thinking about going to, but considering my financial situation, I just can't. As much as I want to, I just can't. So until I get my demonetization issues sorted, I am going to have to cut back a little bit on things, which is not ideal, but it is what it is, guys. But for those who still, if they want to financially support me, guys, the best way you can do so is either by buying me a coffee or joining my Patreon. Links for both of them are down below, guys, if you want to help me there. You would love to join you for the mental health live stream if you're interested. I am definitely up for doing that, Witchy Goth. I am definitely up for doing that if you want to join me for that. It would, for 3 o'clock. We'd go for about an hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, let me know. Drop me a. You've got my contact details. Let me know, and if you're definitely up for it, I'll have to I'll have to do it through live StreamYard instead of restream, obviously, because I can't do it through. I can't do dual live streams through restream. But yeah, I can definitely do that if you're up for doing that as well. So yeah, that'd be great stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff coming on the channel next month, guys. So I hope you guys are looking forward to all of that. So just before I get going, for those who are new to this live stream, what we normally do here, so I have the daily quota, then we look at the local weather, and then we have a look at some of the news that's going on in and around the UK. We're going to be looking at UK news specifically today here, and then I'm not sure what news we're going to cover tomorrow. I think we'll cover all news tomorrow, I think, just because for New Year's Eve, just for reference there. So here is today's daily quota, for those who don't know. And by the way, if you do financially support me, your name gets to appear right down here, guys. All these lovely people here have all contributed towards supporting me while I'm in a bit of a strain right now due to my situation. And you can get added to the list here just by joining the Patreon or buy me a coffee, guys. If you can support, please do. But you can add your name to the list there if you guys can afford to do so. But obviously, if you're struggling financially, if you can't, that's totally fine. Best thing you can do in this situation is literally hitting the like button, sharing across social media, subscribing. If you do those things, at least that way you are still helping me one way or another there. Let me say just hello to Mutty Von Eric, good to see you there. Billy Kershaw there. Stephen Banker, one of our newest moderators. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well as well. Witchy Goth as well, I was just mentioning there in the chat. Guys, make sure you check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel as well. I believe the link for Witchy Goth's YouTube channel is in the description. Let me just double check there. Yes, it is. If you scroll down on the descriptions to check out some of the great YouTubers and their work, you'll find Witchy Goth's a link for her YouTube channel down there as well. And she'll be going live at 6 o'clock today as well, guys. So do check out her live stream at 6 o'clock. I'll be going live at 7 o'clock. Later on, so do join her first if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. Counter Kev, good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. And Martin, good morning to you and as well. Anybody else who's lurking in the background, hope you guys are all doing well. So here we go, guys. Here is today's one. I said yesterday that it wasn't really a quota. It was like a long written statement. Today's quota. Look at it. It's so much information there. It's not really a quota. It's more like a statement more than anything, to be fair. It's like a statement. I do like my desk unit. I really, really do, guys. The only thing I just don't like is not being able to pull my mic forward or whatever. I have to lean forward if I want people to hear me. Let me just see. Maybe I should put this on. Maybe I should put that on just because. Yeah, why not? Okay, here is today's one, guys. I will try to read it out to you. I don't know if I'm going to do it once or twice, but we'll see. Okay, so here it is. Although time seems to fly, it never travels faster than one day at a time. Each day is a new opportunity to live your life to the fullest. In each waking day, you will find scores of blessings and opportunities for positive change. Do not let your today be stolen from the unchangeable past or the indefinite future. Today is a new day. It's a very long one, windy one. Let me say it one more time. Although time seems to fly, it never travels faster than one day at a time. Each day is a new opportunity to live your life to the fullest. In each walking day, you will find scores of blessings and opportunities for positive change. Do not let your today be stolen by the unchangeable past or the indefinite future. Today is a new day. That's lovely. It's very long, but it is very powerful as well from Steve there. It is very long and it's very powerful there, indeed. And of course, tomorrow's one is a very important one, of course, which for New Year's Eve, and it is. And then we will press the reset button on the daily quota and go again. Viper Scott, good to see you there, my friend. Or Alison Keir, as you are known. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Good to see you lurking in the chat there as well. Right, let's have a look and see what's happening in the weather report. I know everyone loves the weather report. Everyone loves the weather report. I've had people advocating me to be a weatherman. Well, you know, once someone approaches me with I'll consider it there. So let's have a look and see what's happening with the weather. Here we go, guys. Here is our big blue beautiful planet here. Got plenty of snowstorms around, got plenty of rainstorms around, and we've got some dry spells here and there around our big beautiful planet. And then we have some of the temperatures and wind marks in different parts of the world there. Yellowknife, always looking at Yellowknife there with a negative 27. That's cold. That's cold. Ottawa minus 14. Minus 14. Oh, Jesus. New York 1. Vancouver 7. San Francisco 8. Miami is still a nice toasty 21 degrees. Okay, could be warmer, but it's still warm. Nonetheless, still warm. Mexico City 13. And of course, BBC doesn't bother updating South America, so the temperatures haven't changed a bit. One there as well. You can see there. Moving into parts of Africa again. Not too much change in the temperatures there. Lagos 29, Cape Town 21, Windhoek 21 there. Addis Ababa 17 there. Dhaka 23 there. Moving to the other side of the world. Auckland, New Zealand 20 degrees. Sydney 17. Perth 20. Darwin 27 there. Philippines, a nice warm toasty 25 degrees, guys. 25 degrees. Tokyo 4 degrees there. And they've got some snowstorms coming up here. Beijing, a negative 5 degrees. New Delhi, 9 there. Tehran is 0 there. Very cold in parts of the Middle East there. We can see some of those temperatures there. Just zoom in a little bit there. You can see some of those temperatures. Oh, very cold in parts there. Baghdad, 6 there. Istanbul, 7 there. Moving over to Europe here. Let's have a look at some of these temperatures. Oh, some of these temperatures are not very good whatsoever here. As we can see, there's not too much rain in Europe. It's mainly the snow, lots of snow that's popping up in places here. Madrid 8, Lisbon 11 there. Tunis 13 there. Tripoli 13 there. Palermo 10, Rome 8, Nice 12. Looks like they've got some snow and rain in parts of Italy there. Bern a negative 1 up in the Swiss Alps. There's a bit of snow down in Australia there, but not too bad there. Zagreb negative 3. Taria 8. Athens 14 there we can see. You can see some of that snowstorms hitting parts of Turkey as well as some rain. There's plenty of rainstorms down in the Mediterranean we can see there. There around there. Bucharest a negative 1. Chistu a negative 3. Kiev very cold. Chile 4 with some snowstorms as well. Not good times, of course. It's very hard to keep warm, obviously, while there's a conflict taking place in the country. Vienna 0. Prague negative 2. Berlin 0. Warsaw 2 minus 2. And you can see this. You can see this stray of snow that's dripping from north of Germany down here. You can see that there. Into Germany and Poland, respectively, there. Also down in some of the Baltics there, you can see Moscow minus 5, St. Petersburg negative 4. Excuse me. Volgograd negative 2 there. Minsk minus 7, minus 5, minus 2 there, respectively. So lots of snowstorms in parts of Russia, Belarus, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, a lot of those countries. They're all going to be experiencing lots of snowstorms and mucky clouds there. You can see from the imagery there what they're going to be expecting. Norway getting some huge snowstorms there. Oslo there, minus 3 degrees. Murmansk, negative 10. You can see some of these big frosty snowstorms there. You can see, if we just zoom in a little bit there, yeah, you can see all those snowstorms coming around there. As for Brussels and Paris, Paris is is just 2 degrees there. Unquiet Badger, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Brussels, 2 degrees there. As we move into the UK here. Oh, wait. Before we go to the UK, our friends up in Iceland, they've got 6 degrees. They've got a dry day, no rain, no snow, just a dry, cloudy day for them. But for the UK today at 6 o'clock, London 5, Cardiff 4, Manchester 4, Dublin 6, Belfast 3, Edinburgh 0 there, with some scattered showers there. Some tiny scatters of shower, but nothing really too much here. Like I said, today is going to be another dry day throughout the day, so you won't need a brolly. It's just going to be very cold, guys. It's just going to be very cold. Like you might get a few scattered showers, but nothing really too much there. Moving into Wednesday morning here, we can see overnight, like I said, tonight is going to get very cold. You can see those temperatures there. This is overnight tonight into the next day, guys. Look, 1-1, negative 1, 0, 4, 3. Very cold night. Please take caution as much as you possibly can. Moving into the next day again, you can see early Wednesday morning, these temperatures for New Year's Eve. It's not gonna increase temperatures too much here, but we can see 4 for Belfast 2, Dublin 5 degrees here. Just moving a bit more further over. Oops, they broke the app there. For those who are wondering what I'm using for those reference, it is the bbc.co.uk/weather map. The link for it is in the description if you guys want to check it out yourself as well, just for reference there. We can see some rain here. And if I just scroll up here, this snowstorm, starts appearing in the next week, or the next couple of days. This will start coming down onto the north of Scotland, and it'll hit parts of Ireland and parts of Wales over the next couple of days here. But at the moment, it's just a bit of showers here and there. We can see. So it looks like New Year's Eve, you're going to get some showers. So if you're planning to go out for some fireworks and whatnot, on New Year's Eve in part of Scotland, that might be a bit problematic with some of the rain that looks like it's forecast out there as well. But moving into New Year's Day, we can see New Year's Day is going to turn from some rain up, not just rain, some scattered showers around, but it looks like some scattered snow is going to start appearing there. If we move overnight, yeah, you can see that snowstorm is slowly dissipating down there. And some of that rain will drop into Northern Ireland and southern Scotland and Northern England there. Looks like there is going to be some tiny bits of rain, excuse me, possibly coming in there. But New Year's Day overnight, again, very cold temperatures, 4 degrees there. Not much wind. There's a bit of a pickup of wind in Scotland there from the rain. So it looks like it's going to be a bit of a storm. So there will be some hefty winds in parts there. But as you can see, as I move further on into New Year's Day, you can see that snowstorm I mentioned there is coming down there. Parts of Wales and England, they're going to be experiencing some showers. Those temperatures on New Year's Day morning going to be very cold indeed. But the temperatures do pick up a little bit. Only a little bit, not too much of a change there. London 5, Cardiff 7, Manchester 6, Dublin 6, Belfast 6, Edinburgh stays at 4 degrees. And you can see that snowstorm I said on New Year's Day, that's going to be coming down. It's going to be coming down into parts of Scotland here. Some of those temperatures there. We can see temperatures 3, 1, 2, 3. So sleet, could be some snow. Please be aware of that up north. It should be what you expect anyway. But the temperatures there going to be remaining around cold degrees there at 12 o'clock on New Year's Day there. Moving down into the south of from the south of Scotland to the north of England here. Those temperatures around 5, 6, 7 degrees in some parts, but still going to be very cold nonetheless here. Even in parts of Wales there, we can see 6 sevens, 6 sevens, 6 sevens, 5, 6, 7, 8 there in 8 in some parts of Wales, but most of it, temperature is going to be very, very cold indeed. Moving down into parts of England here, we can see 6, 7, 8 degrees here, 6 sevens, 6, 6, 7, someone knows the mean there, 5 and 6 degrees here in parts there. Some showers possibly in London for some reason, but parts here, but we can see most of the temperatures are going to be staying around about the same here from the looks of it there. Scrolling a bit back out here, a bit more going into later on there. Some of that snowstorm is still going to be coming around, but you can see it looks like it's going to be coming in there on New Year's Day evening there. Temperatures still remaining very, very cold there. Going overnight into Friday there. Coming out of the blue, really does come out of the blue here. Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland can be experiencing quite a rain, and snow frost is going to be dropping on the top of Northern Ireland there. Those snowstorms are still around Scotland there, so it's still going to be very, very cold indeed. Temperatures, as you can see, not changing, going to be still very, very chilly here from the looks of it here. Good morning, Unquiet Badger and Rosemary. Good to see you both. Hope you guys are all doing well. But moving into Friday morning here, we can see big snowstorms coming. Big snowstorms Friday morning here. You got this big snowstorm here, and we got this big snowstorm that's just come from Northern Ireland. Looks like it's coming right into Wales and parts of Manchester. And you know what happens, guys, when snow hits parts of England? Everyone panics. Everyone panics, especially the rail line, because they don't know what to do. They've never seen snow before, and they always panic. So they have to delay everything for no bloody reason whatsoever. But yeah, Friday morning, that snow looks like it's going to dissipate in some parts here, but yeah, mainly in Scotland, you're going to be getting non-stop snow from the looks of it for a couple of days here. And snow here, according to Friday, some of it is on scattered sides, but again, temperatures still remaining very cold there. Moving into Friday evening, parts of Northern Ireland and parts of Scotland will continue to have snowfall there. Temperatures range very cold Friday, guys. Very, very cold, even more colder. Coming into the zeros and ones there. Going into the weekend there, those temperatures dropping even more, guys. They're dropping even more. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, -1 degrees. Very, very cold indeed. Please be aware of that. So Friday night, it's going to be even colder. So if you think the nights are cold now, they're going to get even colder, guys. So please be aware of that. It's going to get even worse going into Friday there. And we can see those temperatures. Saturday there, oh my God. Yeah, Saturday, it will pick up a tiny bit of those temperatures. Will come back a little bit. But again, like, you're going to get covered in snow for the next couple of days there from the looks of it there. Let's have a quick look at Sunday. We'll have a look again on New Year's Eve just for reference here. But yeah, looks like for the next couple of days, guys, we're going to be getting bits of snow here. It's not really showing much of it dropping around parts of England. It's mainly around the north of Scotland. But it might be the case of what tends to happen is that it may do hit parts of England, but what tends to happen is that it just melts away. So it's not going to really have too much of an impact, I would say. But also we'll have to wait and see over time how that goes on. But yeah, we are going to be getting some snow in parts of the UK. Mainly Scotland is going to be experiencing a lot of it pretty much from New Year's Eve onwards. So get the shovels out, get the salt out, make sure you're ready for it from pretty much from New Year's Eve onwards. So if somebody is not aware of the snow coming in Scotland for the next couple of days, do let them know and tell them to get prepared. Just be prepared for it because it's going to be dropping for a good while. Don't know how deep it's going to drop, but deep it will settle. It'll also be dropping in parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. So if you're in those areas, please take all necessary precautions as well for that, as just for reference as well, guys. But I will cover it one more time, the weather tomorrow on New Year's Eve. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, just for reference as well, guys. Okay, let's have a look and see what some of the news is saying in the UK. A lot of it will be a kind of a bit of a repeat, but we'll see if we can find some new stories to look at and talk about here. I will say, obviously, I will cover some world news tonight at 7 o'clock. I don't think Graham Hughes is going to be doing Geoscopes at 7:30. I didn't hear him when I was listening to his morning brew that they were planning to do one. I know he's doing a big show at 9 o'clock tonight, I believe. But I don't know if Max Robertsby is going live at all. But I'll probably be going for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So I don't know how many stories I will cover tonight on Global News. But I will cover some world news because I do think it's important to talk about what's been happening outside the UK, guys. So this is the front of The Guardian here. They've got Cooper launches review of serious failures in Ali Abdel Al-Fahad's case. Foreign Secretary says due diligence procedures were inadequate amid storms over activists' past tweets. Now, I said last night, I still think this man is a threat to national security. Because and the reason I said this, guys, is because it is one thing to make tweets out of anger and frustration. It's another to make it explicitly on a number of occasions, which is exactly what he has done. It's not like these were one-off tweets. These are multiple tweets that he has stated this. And that kind of language is incredibly scary. It's incredibly dangerous. And I think him being in the UK is very, very dangerous. Now, it doesn't imply that he's going to do it, but the fact that he has those thoughts and has that mindset makes him a very dangerous person. And I think it's very dangerous to have someone like that in the UK. I was listening to Graham Hughes. He thinks it's wrong to have his citizenship removed because obviously, you know, if you do it for one, then you do it for other sort of thing. I understand. Again, I want to make this clear. I understand where Graham is coming from. I disagree. I think this person's citizenship should be removed because I consider him a threat to British people. You know, he's called for the death of white people. You know, I just think your freedom of speech, you know, can only go so far. And calling for the deaths of people, I think, is really, really dangerous. He should never have been given a British passport in the first place. The Conservatives really should have checked the background on this guy. But I also understand the arguments against taking away citizenship because you open up the door for other situations as well. But the thing is, it's like if you won't do it for ones, you've got to try and be as fair and balanced as you can. And I'm thinking about this not just from I'm thinking about this more from a safety point of view. You know, this isn't. It's not again like it's not. I really want to stress this point, guys. Yeah, it's not just he did one tweet and it was one tweet. This is multiple tweets of the same rhetoric. Yeah, multiple tweets. We looked at them on last night's live stream. Multiple tweets of this kind of language. Multiple tweets. If it was just a one-off tweet, it's one thing. But multiple tweets, no. It just doesn't. It just doesn't seem. It just doesn't sit right with me at all. It really, really does not. So the Foreign Office has cautioned against UK military action to overthrow Robert Mugabe. Archives reveals options considered by Tony Blair's government for dealing with Zimbabwean dictator in 2004. The Foreign Office has cautioned against UK military intervention to overthrow the former Zimbabwean president Robert Mugabe in 2004, advising it was not a serious option. Recently released documents show. Policy papers show Tony Blair's government weighed up options on how to best handle the depressingly healthy 80-year-old dictator who refused to step down while the country descended into violence and economic chaos. Faced with the Mugabe-Zanu's PF party winning the 2005 election, and a year after the US joined the US coalition to overthrow the Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein, Number 10 asked the Foreign Office in July to produce options. Officials agreed the UK policy of isolating Mugabe and building an international consensus for change was not working, and had not managed to secure support from key Africans, notably from then South African President Thabo Mbeki. Documents released from the National Archives at Kiev, West London show. Options outlined include seeking to remove Mugabe by force, go for tougher UK measures, or such as freezing assets and closing the UK embassy, or re-engage. The option advocated by the then outgoing ambassador Zimbabwe, Brian Dulligan, according to the files. The FCO paper dismissed military action as not a serious option and advised, we know from Afghanistan, Iraq and Yugoslavia that changing a government or is bad politics for almost impossible from the outside. If you really want to change the situation on the ground in Zimbabwe, you have to do to Mugabe just what you have done to Saddam. As the only candidate for leading such a military operation is the UK, no one else, even the US, would be prepared to do so. It warns that military intervention would result in heavy casualties and have considerable impact for the British people in Zimbabwe. See, this is the kind of this is where you should be. Look, I don't like getting involved in other countries' conflicts here, but we're talking about a country that's suffered brutally under Robert Mugabe. Would I have had a problem with undercover agents going in to assassinate this horrendous, terrible man in Zimbabwe? I wouldn't have. I personally wouldn't have. I would have. I agree with. I don't think military intervention would have been the right call. Even though part of my mind feels like, what's happening is pretty horrific, but I think they could have. I think there could have been options to make him disappear. I think the British government, they have the agents to have done so. Obviously, it's a bit. Obviously, I think that's something they could have considered. I'm not. Yeah, the military option was just like, military option I probably would not have agreed with. Probably not agree. And at the time, things were already people were already upset about the Iraq War as well. So the timing was not ideal. He was finally disposed in a 2017 coup, aged 93. Mugabe claimed in 2013 that in the early 2000s, Blair had tried to pressure him into joining a military coalition to overthrow Mugabe. Claim strongly denied by Blair. I don't think that was good for the South African president to not consider it. He knew what was going on inside that country, what was going on under his watch. I don't think it was a good idea. I get the point of not interfering, but it's an interesting one for sure. Sunny and frosty here, says Rosemary. UK consumers still reluctant to spend going into 2026. The KPMG survey finds. Yep, I'm reluctant to spend as well, especially since I got demonetized there. Blair pressured officials over a case of UK soldiers accused of beating Iraqi man to death. Files show. PM then wrote on his notes from aides in 2005 that case must not be dealt with in civil court, archives reveals. Tony Blair put pressure on officials to ensure that British soldiers accused of beating an Iraqi man to death while in their custody would not be tried in civil courts, newly file release shows. A senior aide wrote to the Prime Minister in July 2005 to tell him that the Attorney General had met army prosecutors that afternoon to discuss the case against soldiers alleged to have beaten Bala Musa to death. It was likely the case would proceed to court-martial, wrote Anthony Phillipson, and the then Prime Minister's private secretary for Foreign Affairs added, although if the AG felt the case was better dealt with a civil court, it could not be directed accordingly. It must not, Blair wrote on the top of his paragraph in the files released to the National Archives at Kiev, West London. 2 years later, the corporal who brutally mistreated Muska and other civilians at a detention centre in Bahrain in September 2000 was court-martialed and became the first British soldier to be convicted of a war crime. Corporal Donald Page, who was jailed for a year and dismissed from the army, punched and kicked a civilian when they were hooded and handcuffed, and conducted what he called the chore, striking the prisoner in sequence, their groins and shriek making up the music. Payne admitted inhumanly to treating Iraqi civilians a war crime under the International Criminal Court. The newly released files appeared to demonstrate Blair's eagerness to ensure that British soldiers facing allegations of wrongdoing in Iraq would not end up being tried in civilian courts by the ICC. Well, look, I'm just going to say this here. He should not have done what he did. Like, I don't care. Like I don't care what the situation was. You don't treat citizens like this. Like, you know, the guy got court-martial, got kicked to the curb, and rightly so. But there are also a lot of British soldiers who have also been accused of things that haven't faced accountability. But we also know that there have been a lot of propagandist made-up cases by civilians as well against British soldiers in order to try and make money off the tax off us taxpayers as well, from that as well. So it's interesting one, that's for sure. Too complacent, how Blair's advisors misjudged his disastrous World W1 speech. Brown's allies could wreck Labour's 2005 election hopes, Mandelson had warned. 2 of Keir Starmer's closest allies named in the New Year's honours list. Let's have a look at the front of UK here. Renewable energy projects approvals hit record high in Great Britain in 2025. Applications to build battery storage drive boom as offshore wind project given go-ahead jump 7-fold year on year. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. And a record number of renewable energy projects were given the go-ahead in Great Britain in 2025 after plan approvals almost doubled year on year according to analysis. The energy capacity of a new battery, wind and solar projects have revealed approval climbed to 45 gigawatts this year, a 96% higher than in 2024 according to data from Cornwall Insight. The boom was driven by applications to build a new battery storage, which almost doubled to 28.6 gigawatts this year from 14.9 gigawatts in 2024. Planning approvals for offshore and wind developments jumped more than 7-fold to 9.9 gigawatts from 1.3 last year. Planning approvals for batteries, wind and solar have risen by more than 400% over the past 5 years. That's good. Yeah, we can see there. Yeah, very, very low, obviously. And then it from 2020... Yeah, there was a massive increase from 2020 there after the COVID pandemic, the rise in batteries there. But you can see here there's been in 2025 not too much change in wind, and where there's been offshore wind has definitely increased. Batteries has definitely jumped spike last year as well, which is a good sign as well. Interesting. The Energy Secretary, Ed Miliband, said after years of delay and underinvestment, the government is keeping its promise to take back control of Britain's energy with clean, homegrown power. Every project we approve, every investment we make is about getting the country off the roller coaster of fossil fuel markets, protecting households and lowering bills for good. It will take time. Like, I really do hope this works out for people. I really, really do. The record-breaking surge in planning approval signals real momentum in the UK's energy transition, according to Robert Clark, a senior analyst at Cornwall Insight. Many could still face delays starting up. On paper, the UK's renewable pipeline has never looked stronger, he said, but approvals don't generate electricity, and we urgently need to move from ambition to actually deliver on these projects. Too much capacity is still stuck in queues or waiting for grid upgrades. Grid bottlenecks remain one of the biggest risks to turning today's approval into tomorrow's power. Although approvals have accelerated, the pace of projects starting up has lagged behind, largely as a result of long construction timelines and grid connection delays, according to Cornwall. Many projects have been stuck in first-come, first-served connection queues, but recent reforms to remove zombie projects from the queue and shift to a first-ready and first-needed, first-connected approach is expected to clear some of the bottlenecks and quicken the pace of Britain's renewable energy build-out. Britain's energy system operated by the plugs on hundreds of electricity generation projects earlier this month to clear a huge backlog that had stopped so many shovel-ready schemes from connecting to the power grid. That's good stuff. It's going to take some time, but yeah, I really hope it does lead to a significant reduction in energy. I really, really hope so, guys. I really, really hope so. Yeah, go say hello to Marcus for me, Billy Kershaw. Appreciate it. Thanks for popping in. And ask him when is he coming on for a live stream? When are we doing a live stream again? Ask him for me. Because I never hear from him anymore. Unite leaders tell Labour to stop being embarrassed to be the voice of workers. Facebook slow to act on post celebrating Bondi Beach massacre. Anti-hate group says, yeah, Facebook should respond much quicker on that. There, Marks & Spencer's launches nutrient-dense range of people on weight loss jabs. We touched on the weight loss jabs yesterday. Octopus Energy to sell stake in software spin-off Crackling at 8.65 billion valuation there. Plymouth had UK's steepest rise in house prices in 2025 there in Plymouth. Young athletic salmon seen there in three English rivers for the first time in decades. Ooh, wow, that's good. Zach is a phenomenal leader. Sean Berry on the Green Party's next steps as membership doubles. Yeah, well, we'll see how they do when it comes to the local elections. The Green Party, you know, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of membership gain. We'll have to see over time how they do. We'll have to see how they do over time, guys. We'll have to see how they do as time continues. Let's see what the Independent is saying here. I'm skipping Sky News, guys, because they have literally got the same stories as they had from yesterday. Farage is still popular despite racism claims. Poll finds. Yeah, some people just don't care. More than 20 former pupils of Dulwich College have accused the reform Russian leader of holding racist, anti-Semitic, fascist views as a pupil. Yeah, it's not really stuck. Yeah, was racist as bullying in school days. Appears to have left his reputation unscathed among voters. Yeah, because there are some voters who just don't care how nasty this person is. They just don't care, some of them. A survey by JL Partners for the Independent shows that 1 in 2 voters have a negative view of the reform leader compared to 1 in 3 who have a positive view. However, it indicates that allegations against him dating back to his career at Dulwich College in London in the 1970s have not damaged his overall reputation. In fact, they suggest his approval ratings had improved a bit by just 1%. 4% of voters, 1 in 25, said they have turned against Mr Farage as a result of the allegations. By contrast, 5%, 1 in 20, said it has changed their opinion of him from negative to positive. James Johnson of JL Partners compared the findings of polling in Americas following early allegations of personal misconduct against Mr Farage with a right-wing ally of Donald Trump. US president's ratings went up marginally because most people had already formed hardened opinions of him, and supporters shrugged off the allegations as overly political. Farage could be benefiting from a similar phenomenon, he added. Yeah, I actually agree with this. I think there are some people who are simply going to back him no matter how much the facts about him and what he is going to be thrown in their faces. They're prepared to vote for him no matter what. Arson surveyed the allegations against Mr Farage had changed their views of him, better or worse. 47% said they already had a negative view of him and it made no difference. A total of 28% said the opposite, said they already have a positive view and have not changed their minds. Yeah. So, unfortunately, we have Britons here who don't care about the fact that Nigel Farage was a racist, that he's a stooge for Russia, and that they actually would rather see the UK as a whole burn to the ground with Nigel Farage in power. You know, it shows they honestly don't care about the future of their own children. You know, they don't see the iceberg coming. Starmer's Labour branded austerity light and rudderless. Number 10, apologised for John Major's birthday message to the Queen Mother. Oh, what did they do there? UK breaking key aid promises as cuts drive crisis in South Sudan. Yep. Know about that. Blair considered building secret bunker under number 10. New files revealed. I'm surprised we haven't got a bunker under number 10. Why have they never considered building a? Why have we not got a bunker under number 10? Or maybe they do have a bunker, but they're telling the public there isn't one. But maybe they're just playing us off here. Like it would be insane for them not to have a bunker under it. I mean, it's entirely possible that they may not be able to build a bunker under it because of perhaps potential. I don't know if there's tube lines running anywhere near the number 10 at all, but it's possible. That might be the reason. But yeah. They should, like, I'm generally serious. If they don't have a bunker under number 10, I don't know what they're doing, but they should have one. They should have one. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they have one, but they're just not telling us about it. That's what I'm saying, guys. That's what I'm saying. Polls are just that. It's the ballot box that counts. That's true. That's true. But it is true that some people will not be swayed on Nigel Farage, no matter how much you throw shit at them. Number 10 blocked the release of Blair calls with Kylie after Diana's death. Yeah. Yeah. I do feel like the Diana thing is just never going to go away. One day more about it is going to come to pass. One day. It's not going to be good at all. What else they got? Tesco's relaunched free fruit schemes for millions of customers. January 2026 payment dates for benefits and pensions. Mother and 2 children killed in a Boxing Day fire. That's absolutely terrible. My condolences there. Kids left in tears as families turn away from Jurassic World show. What? Why would you turn away from a Jurassic World show? Must not have been that good then. Where windy showers and ice will hit the UK on New Year's Day there. Teens in Denmark said Elon Musk comments about her hotness are crazy. Okay. Don't know what Elon Musk said, but when does he not say something controversial? When does the guy not say something controversial? Let's have a look and see what the Tory graph is saying here. There is a bunker church. Churchill used it. Blair wanted to waste more taxpayer money on a vanity project. Yeah, this is the thing. Like, yeah, but was it under number 10 or was it somewhere else? Wasn't it was that actually under number 10 or somewhere else though? There's one in St Andrews, says Rosemary. Maybe that's probably the one that you're thinking of, Stephen Banker. Maybe. Man flee fatal hit and run carrying number plate. Rory McIlroy slum from New Year's honours over tax concerns. Asylum seekers should be tagged, says police in chief. Prince Harry and Meghan close aides quit. Okay, because clearly the Telegraph, Telegraph have to say something about the evil Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, because they have to say something nasty, say something about them, say, look what they're doing. Corley Winkle to share BBC chat show slot with Graham Norton. She's done really well for herself, Claudia Winkleman. You know, Strictly Come Dancing host, the host of Traitors. You know, she's done really well for herself as a actor. As a host for shows. Although sometimes she has sometimes some of the weirdest faces. Does she? She does pull some odd faces there. I believe they have an underground train shuttle that takes them away building to a real bunker, says Stephen Lee. That makes more logical sense, Stephen. Yeah, that makes more logical sense there. Good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. That makes a lot more logical sense there. Perhaps they should have built a Nissan hut in number 10's garden. Let's count. Bangladesh's first female prime minister dies aged 80. Trump criticizes Ukraine for attacking Putin's house. Excuse me? Oh, what? And they didn't try to kill Zelensky? How dare Trump? How dare they try to kill Putin, even though they tried to kill Zelensky on multiple occasions? Get off. Claudia, the face of Head and Shoulders. Oh my God, those adverts. Stephen Baker. Bloody. Yeah, those bloody adverts. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh. Riding the Star will be ousted, Unite boss has said. Irish wanting to export Edward I advocate crisis. Zionists are out to get me, says Egyptian extremists, even though he called for the deaths of them. Literally calling for the deaths of them. And you're wondering why people are out to get you. Miliband plots 3 billion solar panel blitz to create zero bill homes. Okay, Mr. Anti net zero paper. BBC boss blamed for discredit Gaza documentary handed OBE. Tory shadow minister under fire for working for Abramovich. Yeah, that wasn't very ideal, was it? Rejected Afghan asylum seekers cost taxpayers million. No shit. No shit. Let's have a look. There's a story here, actually, I saw in the eye, but I can't open it, unfortunately, guys. Where is it? It's a really interesting one I want to look at some point. Oh, where was it? Oh, it's not here. I can't find it. Oh, it's not here. I thought it was here. Well, it's gone disappeared now. Cruel cuts will split the party inside Labour's toxic battle to reduce benefits there. Millions waiting over a month to see GP appointments as appointment delays arise. PIP appeal for stress, anxiety. That's it. PIP appeals for stress and anxiety claims are costing the taxpayer millions of pounds. Yep. That's, yeah, because a lot of them are justified appeals. This is a very, this is one that we definitely need to touch on as well. Teachers back lifting two-child benefit cap as poorer pupils struggle to learn. Labour plans to crack down second home tax loophole. We saw that yesterday, that story. Let's have a look at the front of the eye paper, what they got here. Why Trump has softened cannabis laws after launching a war on drugs. I thought it was because he smoked weed, but I'm sure we've heard that story before. New Epstein images show Lorena's sentence written on... Oh, God, no. I don't want to see that here, thank you. How BBC could model TV license on Germany. I'm sure they saw that analysis piece already. Labour blame game erupts as Cooper offers Foreign Office review over him. Yeah, it's not going to change anything. I don't think they're not going to... If they're not going to strip him of his citizenship, there's nothing really to be had here. How Ukrainian military press gangs are grabbing citizens off the street. Ukraine's military equipment officials have been accused of violently hauling men into vans and forcing them into conscription. Well, you know, the country's life is in danger here. Like, I'm gonna say this. Like, I know it's brutal, but there are times where they need bodies. They need bodies, and a lot of Ukrainians fled the country, and they need soldiers. They really need soldiers right now. You know, it's tough for Ukraine right now. They really do need every single manpower that they can possibly get. They really, really do. Got about just 11 minutes left before we wrap up, guys. Just a quick reminder that I will be going live at 7 o'clock tonight for the global news, covering news from outside the UK. And also, guys, if you want to financially support me while I'm still currently demonetized, you can either buy me a coffee or join the Patreon. Links for both of them in the description. And if you do, you can have your name here among these fantastic supporters here who have contributed towards helping me out during this difficult period. And thank you to everyone who has done so. It would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, if you can't financially support me, just hitting that like button, sharing and subscribing, hitting the bell notification icon, all those things does help support the channel. And thank you for those who do so. It's greatly appreciated. Boosted from joining the Euro would have covered the cost of the NHS, advisors have told Blair. Push to join in the European single currency stoked tensions between Labour PM and Chancellor in 2003. No, I still think it was the right decision not to join the euro currency. I think it was the right thing that we didn't join the euro currency. I think it was the right thing we didn't join the euro. I think it was the right thing. I think he did the right thing keeping our own currency, rather than being part of the euro currency. I think that was a good decision by Gordon Brown. Even if it would have covered the cost of the NHS, I still think it was the right decision. New Year's on this list there. Elizabeth Line would never have been built, Portfolio wrote when urging cancellation. Former Treasury Minister warned that Crossrail London link was too costly and unnecessary, newly released papers show. I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, guys. Look, as somebody who lives literally inside the M25 of London and uses the tube network and whatnot, guys, I'm going to be flat out honest. We never needed the Elizabeth line. We did not need the Elizabeth line. Honestly, like the tube network itself was like, it's just, for me, it's like, yeah, it's great for people who use it and whatnot, but it's not unless I never found the Elizabeth line to be something that we desperately needed. Like, it's another line that kind of like runs alongside parts of the Central line in London. It was not necessary. Let me put it that way, right? That money could have gone to a much more important projects. I generally feel that money could have gone to much more important projects. And, which is something my dad pointed out when we were touched on it actually, the Elizabeth line should have been driverless. It's not even a driverless train, which is bloody stupid as well. Should have been driverless, just like the DLR. They really should be making these trains driverless. They really, really should. UK weighs merit on trying to oust depressingly fit Mugabe records show. Counting body scraps removes exams to combat cheating. Decision follows scandals at Big Four and comes as AI tools make it easier to circumvent innovators there. The UK needs 800 billion of new funding by 2040 to meet defence pledge. Yeah, we saw that story yesterday. Absolute bollocks story there. Absolute bollocks story. Let's have a look front here. Private equity firms sell assets to themselves at a record rate. Trump attempts to reshape the world trade. Saudi Arabia bombs UAE-backed faction in Yemen. Might touch on that later on. Top US firm hands associates $300,000 plus bonuses. UK civil servants continue to grow. Despite pledges to rewire state. The deepening divisions reshaping London's political landscape. Local elections next May are expected to reflect major shifts in party allegiances. Yep. I think that, the rise in memberships for the Greens does speak a lot about that as well. Yes, there is bunkers under number 10 at Pitta bunker beneath MOD in Whitehall, linked by tunnels, Churchill War Room. Yes, the Churchill War Room. I don't think. Did I visit Churchill War Room? I can't remember if I did actually, because it was a museum, wasn't it? Can't remember if I did or not. I need to ask my partner. I'm sure I did. I'm sure I visited it at some point. Meta buys Chinese-founded AI startup Mantis. Microsoft Nvidia overhauls leadership as he plots AI strategy beyond OpenAI there. China steps up Taiwan military drills. Saw that yesterday. Turkey detains hundreds of ISIS suspects after deadly shooting. Got that as a short video. Year in a word, cockroaches, apparently. Why people love neurotic robots. Yeah, I'm not ready to have a robot housewife, thank you. I know some people are. I'm not personally ready for it. Got about 5 minutes left here, so we'll have a quick look at the times, and we'll have a look at Byline Times. Although Byline Times don't really update their stories at this moment, they're not going to be updating them until the new year, just for reference here. Just 1 second here. I'm just going to double check and see if anyone has sent me any support today. No, nothing there. Anyone joined the Patreon today, just so I can give them a shout out? Not today. Okay, no worries. Wait, what's that? Okay, that's just notifications for them. Okay, no worries. I'll just come back to that. Inevitable that Stormer will be replaced. It's the times here. Rise of the zero bill home. Miliband pins hopes on solar panel power. I just hope it does reduce bills in the long term for people. My words were twisted out of meaning, says dissonant in star morale. No, I saw the tweets. Like the tweets, we saw the tweets last night. They weren't twisted. Like, I'm just like, you can't say the words were twisted. Like, we saw exactly what was said. Month-long waits to see a GP rise under Labour. Like, sorry, like, if he says his words were twisted, don't buy it. Like, literally go online, type his name, his tweets will come up. They weren't twisted. He said exactly what he said, guys. He said exactly what he said. Front of UK here. D-Day veteran warns of repeated history. Inside the secret plan to build a bunker at Downing Street. Failure to spot activist abhorrent tweets to be investigated. Phil Sultan has no rights to citizenship. That's a comment piece there. No change in the polling there. We'll have to see over this last update was yesterday apparently. Yeah, again, take it with a pinch of salt. It's coming from the Times there. And those are all old stories there. Let's have a quick look at Byline Times before we see ourselves out. There. Out of the doom loop. What they got? Nigel Farage, Russian influence, advent calendar from Byline Times. Byline Times to compile their festive offering of the prize moments when reform leaders grifted his political agenda to Vladimir Putin and Russia. That's why we call his political party Reform Russia, not Reform UK. Nigel Farage backed a rise to colours campaign pivots to racially abuse migrants and harass aides were on French beaches. We covered that story on the channel. Keir Starmer setting the trap for Nigel Farage with foreign interference. As reform opens the door to crypto donations, the government's finally starting to take action against the threat of foreign financial interference in our politics. I hope so. That's also an old story we covered as well. Nigel Farage, 9 million donor profits from Putin's propaganda platform while holding MOD stake. Labour in power. Keir Starmer's government is funding violence and death on the French borders of human rights groups. We also covered that story as well in the past. The government's integrity gap is leaving the door open for Nigel Farage. Intimidating the populist right, the politics of Shabima Mahmoud there as well. I got stories on the Epstein files. Byline Times coverage of the House Cyclic Committee here. How Epstein channeled science, race, and climate culling into Silicon Valley at Valley's AI elite. How Epstein saved Bitcoin and assessed Trump's tech inner circle. How Epstein infiltrated Silicon Valley network behind Donald Trump's new tech order. Steve Bannon offering Trump MAGA as a shield for Jeffrey Epstein. Dinner of Mr. Brexit, Bannon's European Revolution plan with Farage backed by Epstein. I haven't read any of these guys. I think this is something we should cover. Maybe this is potentially something I could cover as a premiere video. That would definitely be interesting read. That would definitely be an interesting read. I met migrant women in Calais hoping to reach the UK, and this is what I learnt from Rachel Millwood there. Shabina Mummer's asylum seeker military warehouse plans delayed amid opposition by Labour MPs. Gaza's humanitarian hub to function more as US military command, leaked papers suggest there. So yeah, some of these stories are old, but some of them are fairly new. But yeah, these ones definitely. I think I might do a long format video on them. I think it'd be fascinating to read. That is for sure, guys. That is for sure. Starmer is good at setting traps. Yeah, let's hope he does, guys. Right, so it's 12 o'clock here. I want to say massive thank you to everyone who came along. Thank you guys for all your comments. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming here. I really do appreciate it. Viper Scotch just put a link in the chat. If you guys want to head over to our good friend All Shorts, who is live right now, give him some love. Tell him Reganelite went this way. Be greatly appreciated if you guys can do that for me there. Bombard the chat with me. I literally have to go straight out as soon as I finish this live stream, so I can't join you guys, but do tell him for me that when is he going to come on a round table or come on with another chat, because it's been too long, guys. It's been too long. Yeah, so keep bugging him about that for me, guys, because I miss talking to him. I really do. He's an absolutely top bloke, and we know nothing but love for him, because he helped out this channel when it literally had less than 100 subscribers. So never forget the time he's given to us, guys. So do give All Shorts some love for me, guys. Have a wonderful day, whatever you guys are doing. Do check out Witchy Goth when she goes live at 6 o'clock tonight, and I'll be going live at 7 o'clock for Global News. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you all so much for watching. If you can, hit the like button, share it across social media, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out other links down below as well. And I hope to catch you all very, very soon.